we came out here with purpose. Obviously, the shooting we're about to describe happened not too far behind you here. So all these gentlemen behind me, I have the mayor on my right, the state's attorney on my left. All these other people you see are either people that contributed to the case significantly or represent departments that did. So anyway, before I get lost in this, I just want to publicly thank them all. East Alton is a small department. Cases like this are overwhelming, and I got all the help I could possibly ask for, and I got it in a hurry, like right now. So anyway, I'm going to go into this right now. I'm going to read you this press release, and then we're going to have some, Mr. Haynes is going to make some comments, and then we'll have time for questions. We probably won't answer all of your questions, but we'll give it a good shot. Okay, last Saturday evening, January 22nd, 2022, at approximately 7:55 p.m., the East Alton Police Department responded to a shooting on the parking lot of the East Alton Ice Arena, where you're standing right now. Information received from multiple 911 calls was that at least one woman had been shot by an unknown black male who fled the area on foot. Multiple police agencies responded, also including the East Alton Fire Department and the Alton Memorial Ambulance Service. Once on scene, the initial investigation revealed that there were actually two female victims, both suffering from lower body gunshot wounds. Both victims were transported to local hospitals. The older of the two victims underwent surgery that night and is reported to be recovering well at the time of this press release. The younger victim was released from the hospital earlier this week and is recovering at home. Our initial investigation revealed that a black male suspect in his late 20s or early 30s, wearing a dark-colored, possibly black hoodie, had approached several people on this parking lot, including the victims. This investigation also showed that the suspect actually approached the victims twice, speaking to them briefly before walking away and then re-engaging approximately 1 minute later. As he approached the second time, he produced a handgun and quickly fired one round, striking both victims. The suspect then fled on foot northeast towards Lewis and Clark Boulevard. During the subsequent investigation, multiple sources of video surveillance were obtained, capturing the suspect's movement. With further assistance from Alton PD, Wood River PD, and the Madison County Sheriff's Department, we were able to link our suspect with a second shooting in the Cottage Hills area that occurred on Sunday, January 23rd of 2022. This case, a home invasion, was investigated by the Madison County Sheriff's Department. After coordinating with all of these agencies, the suspect's identity was established by late Monday morning, January 24th, 2022. After probable cause was developed, local LPR cameras were utilized to focus on the movement of the suspect and the suspect vehicle. This information led directly to the suspect's arrest, which was executed Monday afternoon by a traffic stop on the Burton Highway. The suspect is identified as follows: Burton Lamar Newton, black male, date of birth 5/15 of 91. He's 30 years old. Last known address, 2700 block of Oscar, Alton, Illinois. The driver of his car is identified as his girlfriend, Amber Dawn Galladay. She's a white female, DOB 826 of 88. She was taken into custody during the same traffic stop. Galladay had previously been identified as a suspect with Newton in Madison County's case. Yesterday afternoon, the Madison County State's Attorney's Office formally charged both of these suspects with multiple felony counts associated with both of these cases. The suspects are currently in custody at the Madison County Jail. I've attached in your packets the criminal information and some mugshots. I was going to, at this point, hand it over to Tom Hain to further explain the charges that his office issued yesterday. Tom? Oh, that was holding it up there. Okay, all yours, Chief.
Thank you all for coming today. I just want to say we We are so thankful that Maria and Renee are okay and they're recovering, and our prayers go out to them. It's a very scary thing that happened here, and we're glad that no lives were lost. So, yesterday afternoon, as the chief noted, my office charged Burton L. Newton with multiple counts, multiple felonies, and Amber D. Galladay of multiple counts. I'd like to just list those for you. But first, I'd like to say that Burton Newton is facing up to life in prison for his charges, and Amber Galladay is facing up to 45 years at 50% for her charges. So, Burton Newton is charged in relation to the shooting here with attempted first-degree murder, which is a Class X felony, aggravated battery with a firearm, another count of aggravated battery with a firearm, and unlawful possession of weapons by a felon. Then he is charged with Sunday's events with home invasion, armed robbery, reckless discharge of a firearm, and unlawful possession of weapons by a felon. Amber Galladay, relation to Sunday's events, is charged with home invasion, armed robbery, and unlawful possession of weapons by a felon. And then in relation to the Saturday shooting here, she is charged with obstruction of justice. As stated, those charges carry a sentence of multiple different variations once you combine them, but Mr. Newton is facing up to life in prison, and Ms. Galladay is facing up to 45 years at 50%. This case is a true testament to how in Madison County the law enforcement community works as a united whole. When East Alton is facing a significant event like this, everyone comes to their aid. It was a united effort between Wood River, Alton, East Alton, the Sheriff's Department. No one asked why, they just asked what can we do? And I think that's a testament to how in-depth this investigation was. And the community can take solace in that as well, because this is a safe area. Eastgate's a safe place. There has been, the mayor and the chief and I were talking, we can't think of another violent crime that has occurred here on the parking lot of Eastgate. So this is a safe, family-friendly place, and this was like a bolt of lightning out of a clear blue sky. There's no trend here that people should be worried about of an uptick in violence in Eastgate. And in fact, in a sense, this shines a light on all the resources that we have locally to combat crime. This was a case where you are surrounded currently with cameras that record everything that happens on this parking lot. Madison County is now covered with a web of license plate readers that allow us to track individuals who are under investigation to an incredible degree, and that was instrumental in this case. And so Eastgate's open for business, East Alton's open for business, and if anything were to occur here, just know that the law enforcement is working together, the prosecutors are working together, we have the resources to investigate crimes like this, to find the perpetrators, and to bring them to justice. So please come out, enjoy this wonderful asset to our communities and all the assets to our local communities, because we are committed to making sure our community is safe so that it can flourish into the future. With that, I'd love to answer any questions about the charges, but first I'd like to introduce the mayor of East Alton, Darren Carlton.
You messed up your last name, sorry.
That's okay. Appreciate everybody coming out. I just want to say a few things. First of all, I want to thank Chief Galladay and the members of the East Alton Police Department for the job they did on this investigation. Would also like to thank personally and from the village residents of town, Chief Wells and the Wood River Police Department, Chief Polito and the Alton Police Department, Sheriff John Lake and Major Connor from the Madison County Sheriff's Department for their assistance in this, because if it wasn't for those other three departments, I think the finality would have been the same. It would have just taken us a little bit longer. So we really appreciate them coming out. I do just want to reiterate statements that Mr. Hain mentioned about Eastgate being a safe spot. Most of you, if you're from this area, know that this shopping center was not thriving just a few years ago. A local businessman purchased it, has redeveloped it. It's nice, it looks good. The ice rink has been here since 1995. We are a safe place to be. Do not hesitate to keep coming back to East Alton and coming here to Eastgate and enjoying the opportunities that we have here. I don't have anything else, Mr. Hain.
If anyone has any questions?
Mr. Hain, you talked about the cameras that are available. I see that this area has a lot of cameras. How instrumental was that helpful in the investigation and bringing these charges about?
Pivotal. It was a pivotal reason why these charges were able to be brought today, and why this individual was able to be brought to justice. So there are cameras at this parking lot like there are in many parking lots, but Madison County government, local municipalities, and my office, State's Attorney's Office, have been committed to continuing to grow our license plate reader network. We have over 100 license plate readers across Madison County. These are license plate readers that are meant to investigate individuals who are wanted by law enforcement or individuals who have a warrant out for their arrest. They are not perfect, but they are a fantastic tool that allows a quick turnaround for a dynamic investigation like happened throughout these past few days. And they allow us to track individuals that are moving quickly across the county, throughout the region, and to bring them to justice. So in this case, it was instrumental. I believe license plate readers will continue to be instrumental. I believe they're a major part of our cross-river crime task force, and that is a network and a resource that we're committed to growing, because Madison County stands for the rule of law. East Alton stands for the rule of law. Eastgate will be a safe place, and the way to do that is to give our law enforcement the tools they need, and that's what Madison County is committed to doing.
A report of an armed robbery, and then we also had the fire down here
Yes.
at Club Fitness around the same time. Is there any reason to believe that those are connected?
No.
Okay.
I also heard you say that when you were a kid, you used to skate here.
Yes,
What is that? I mean, does that?
I love. This is a wonderful place, and I can tell you, this is a different place this year than it was 2 years ago. I was just telling the owner of this establishment that I used to come here as a kid and skate. You know, I used to fall a lot on the ice. I have kids. I plan on bringing them back here. We go to eat at the Mexican restaurant down the street. We go to the axe throwing. You know, Julia's is a wonderful place. This is a real asset to the whole community. So, what a wonderful place to be. This should not deter anyone. This individual had no connection to this place that we can think of. There's no reason to think this is a uniquely targeted area. In fact, it's the opposite. This is a safe place where a lot of people are, where a lot of assets are, and I can tell you the law enforcement community is committed to ensuring especially that our crown jewels of our community, our downtowns, our business districts, places where people want to go out and have fun, that those have protection. And this is a good example of how that works. If anything happens, God forbid, resources are expended, communities come together, Wood River, East Alton, Alton, the Sheriff's Department, everyone comes together, and they turn the case into a prosecution so that we can bring this individual to justice. So it's a real coordinated effort, and it's a testament to our community. We work together because we value safe communities.
Did the suspect say why he did this, or what was or is he mentally ill, or what? I mean, what?
I can't comment on anything relating to the suspects, you know, whether or not anything was said. All we can speak to is the charges and a brief description of the events that led up to them, just so the community is aware of the basic outline of what we believe the facts will show at trial.
And what advice would you give some kids or the adults that come here and skate, enjoy the good times around here? What advice do you give them once they leave the buildings and they're out here in the parking lots and stuff?
Honestly, I wouldn't worry about it. This event wouldn't change my impression of this place at all. When you're walking out in the parking lot, it's a safe place. The sad thing in this world, anything can happen anywhere, but that doesn't mean you should live your life in fear, and there's no reason why anyone coming to Eastgate should fear this place over any other after this event. Tragic thing is, it may deter some people, but the facts are this is a completely isolated incident. As I said, this is a bolt of lightning out of a clear blue sky. There's no reason to expect this to come back. In fact, it might have the opposite. I think after this, people may think, wow, this place is protected. If anything happens here, I know for sure the resources will be expended to bring that individual to justice. So this is a place where you can feel safe.
And were you shocked about the randomness of this?
Yes, it's a very scary thing. It's a very scary thing. Coming out of an ice skate rink, you never expect anything like this to happen. So these kind of violent events that affect individuals just going about their daily life in a wonderful place are scary for everyone, but they shouldn't give reason for people to be deterred to come out. There's nothing about this event that makes this area less safe. It's isolated, and we believe that this individual can and will be brought to justice, and people can come out and Eastgate can continue to flourish.
I'm curious about the Cottage Hills aspect. The whole thing seemed to fly under the radar this weekend. Everybody knew about this in the region, did not know about the other. Was that a key factor in determining who the suspects were? And I mean, it seemed like he got away at Saturday night, but then came back into the picture on Sunday.
Yeah. Chief Golicky can talk about that.
The significance of that was, yes, it was a major factor in our case, but part of the issue was, even though it happened on Sunday, the reporting of it was a little delayed, so we didn't get it. And Deputy Chief Connor can comment on if he chooses, but the report was delayed. We got the information a little late, but our video surveillance and our pictures we had here locally were instrumental in comparing with that case and identifying the fact that we had the same suspect, like we're looking for the same bad guy. So to that extent, it was very helpful. The only issue with it at all, there was a little delay in reporting, which maybe caused a little delay in the press getting attached to it. So that answered your question, I hope.
Would you expect any, even saying that this was a random incident, would you expect any increased patrols? Would people see that, in the coming days?
Yes, and everybody standing here knows when they're random and when there's no association, when there's no relationship between the victim and the suspect, it adds to the degree of difficulty. These cases are tougher, and I'll be the first one to acknowledge you need a little good fortune or luck, along with some good police work, which we got. So yes, I would expect that we would get some more patrol here. There's a deputy associated with this particular building that's in here a lot, acting as security. We're here a lot on routine patrols. I mean, many policemen in this area have kids that are skating in here. There's police here all the time. This is a safe place. It's always been a safe place. It's going to continue to be a safe place.
Then, Chief, was there something across the street at the gas station that same night?
Yes, I realize everybody's confusion with that, but that was really us, and it was in Alton PD. I had Alton PD. The chief probably doesn't want to hear this, but his entire police department was down here at Circle K assisting us. We had a black male suspect that fit the description of our offender that was in the bathroom, didn't want to come out, so it got delayed. There was a lot of squad cars, and for some reason, by the time that got distributed to the press, it came out as a potential armed robbery. There was no such thing. There was no criminal incident over there. It was just a suspect that we were checking into that we had a little trouble getting identified.